Hello and welcome to VOA's Red Carpet. Red Carpet is a show that brings you the latest in entertainment news, in fashion, in sports, in film and television from around the world. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. Let's go. Now, due to the coronavirus pandemic and out of an abundance of caution, the Voice of America has reduced the number of people who work from our headquarters here in Washington, D.C. So many of us are working from home. And that's why many of our shows, including Red Carpet, are going to look a little different. But we are working to keep you informed, and we appreciate you for staying with us as we all deal with this virus. And let's start with some sports news. The Tokyo Olympics, which were recently cancelled, have now been rescheduled for July 23rd to August 8th of next year, 2021. And even though the NBA season remains shut down, that hasn't stopped NBA players from working to bring awareness to the coronavirus pandemic. Golden State Warriors star Stephon Curry teamed up with Dr. Anthony Fauci, who is with the White House Coronavirus Task Force, for a question and answer session on Curry's Instagram Live.
Try to compile as many questions as possible from all of my followers, everybody who wanted to ask you questions directly, and we'll kind of just see how the conversation goes, and just would love your sound advice. So I'll start with a pretty simple one, I think, but just in terms of, how is COVID-19 different from the flu in terms of, how it, interacts with the body and just how it spreads?
Well, it's similar in some respects, Steph, in that it's a respiratory illness that's transmitted by the respiratory route. It gives a degree of pathology that's mostly pneumonia. The reason it's different is that it's very, very much more transmissible than flu. And more importantly, it's significantly more serious.
And then there was Indiana Pacers star Victor Oladipo, who not only stands on the basketball court, but can also sing. He hosted a special concert for fans on the NBA's Instagram Live account.
I've been so many places in my life, and I sung a lot of songs. I made some bad rhymes.
And speaking of music, Ugandan Member of Parliament and musician Bobi Wine, also known as Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, joined the fight against the coronavirus pandemic with a music video that is going viral across his home country and around the world. Collaborating with local fellow reggae artist Nubian Lee, the artists highlight prevention measures against the deadly virus. Bobi Wine says that he recorded the coronavirus alert song as a call on his fellow citizens to take personal responsibility in fighting the virus.
This message goes to all humanity, every human being that understands the language I'm speaking. This is a battle for survival of humanity. We must hold it together. It's the most important thing for every human being to attend to, because it will affect everybody regardless of where you are, where you come from, what your status is. So it is important that we save humanity first. We can only debate when we are all alive. It's a noble call. It's for everybody. Everybody is a potential victim, and yes, the vigilance of everybody will turn everybody into a potential solution.
And musicians continued to entertain while helping those affected by putting on an hour-long benefit concert hosted by Elton John. The iHeart Living Room concert included performances by Alicia Keys, Backstreet Boys, David Grohl, Billie Eilish, Camila Cabello, Mariah Carey, and Sam Smith.
Only fear more the pressure. I'm hoping that my love won't keep you up tonight.
And talking about celebrities doing what they can to help, even beloved Sesame Street Muppets Elmo, Rooster and Cookie Monster doing their part to keep kids safe. Featured in some of 4 new animated public service spots, the characters are reminding young fans to do things like wash your hands, with Elmo's classic toothbrush song Brushy Brush being updated to Washy Wash. TV host Ellen DeGeneres caught up on the phone with former First Lady Michelle Obama about how they've been practicing social distance and keeping busy at home amid the ongoing coronavirus outbreak.
You know, there's some good and bad that goes with it. I mean, I feel for all the folks, you know, who are going to suffer because of what's going to happen to the economy. And we have to be mindful about what we're going to do to support those folks when this quarantine is over and people are looking at what's left of their businesses and their lives. You know, and that is a negative. But, you know, on the positive side, you know, I know for us, it's forced us to, you know, continue to sit down with each other, have real conversations, you know, really, you know, ask questions and figure out how to keep ourselves occupied without just TV or computers. And, you know, it's a good exercise in reminding us that we just don't need a lot of the stuff that we have. You know, when times are bad, having each other, having your health, you know, we can do with a lot less.
Disney is launching a new documentary about elephants with Meghan Markle as the narrator in her first post-royal job, titled Elephant on Disney Nature. The documentary follows the mammals on a 1,000-mile journey across the Kalahari Desert in Africa. It has been reported that the Duke and the Duchess of Sussex recently moved from Canada to California, where the paparazzi is sure to be on the lookout. After hearing news of the couple's move to the States, US President Donald Trump tweeted that the US will not pay for their security protection. But that does not seem like a problem, as a Sussex spokesperson has made a statement that Harry and Meghan have no plans to ask the US government for security resources. And now let's switch things up with a fun-filled event on the streets of Abidjan. Ivory Coast recently held the 3rd edition of Rika, the circus festival of Abidjan, giving its people free entertainment with performances held on the streets and neighborhoods for a week. Now, traditional circus is a novelty in Africa, but promoters say that it is catching on.
Not everyone can afford to see a performance at a big venue, paying a certain amount to see any artistic discipline. I think it is the cultural promoter's duty to create a space which makes this culture accessible to all.
And for the first time since the festival started 3 years ago, Rika included an acrobatic equestrian show. JJ says that street art is already strong in Ivory Coast, which brought coupé décalé music to the masses and revels in hip-hop. Now it can add acrobats on 10-meter poles and riding off the back of horses to that list.
I think it will grow and develop more and more because it is increasingly varied. Even in Ivory Coast, look just at everything that is coupé décalé. All the hip-hop, street arts, zouglou, these are all street arts. And I think it has a great future in Ivory Coast.
And it's clear that the week-long event has appealed to people of all ages.
We can't go out to see these kind of performance, so when the actors come to us, it fills us with joy. As a teacher, as a parent, I am really pleased, and to see the children so happy welcoming the circus. Just to say we had been waiting for it.
The circus troops come from all over sub-Saharan Africa, from countries like Benin, Burkina Faso, Gabon and Ivory Coast, but some also come from Europe. And from Abidjan we head to Miami, where swirling colors, abstract images and fantastical paintings are featured on the outside of buildings and walls in Florida's vibrant city. VOA's Deborah Block takes us to the city's street art scene.
Miami, Florida is known for its street art.
People would know my work a lot by these drip backgrounds and then my dot patterns that I do around the figures, create this like aura.
The best known street art is at the Wynwood neighborhood walls.
So it all started right here, just in this little parking lot.
Artist Peter Tunney has a gallery in Wynwood Walls. Although he is not a street artist, he was involved in the project from the beginning that brought in artists from around the world.
We've had a little over 100 artists paint walls here at the Wynwood Walls from about 30 different countries. You have Japan, Spain, LA.
Every artist has a story to tell.
There's a lot of environmental activism within street art, and there's a lot of activism within street art on how we treat each other, wrongful incarceration, mental illness, addiction.
Street art originated by using spray paint to tag and illegally write signatures on buildings. And then some graffiti artists turned to spray painting murals.
We'd go out at night and go tagging and sometimes find some walls where we're often very desolate areas and maybe do some murals.
Every few years, a mural at Wynwood Walls is painted over with a new image, sometimes by the same artist. 3 million people visit each year.
It makes you feel like the pictures are alive.
One artist used an unusual tool to create his piece.
This is Viels, he's from Portugal. He jackhammered the wall. You see some of it still falls apart. It's like a work in progress.
Street artist Louise Valle, who has a college art degree, is painting murals outside the walls. They focus on nature and on indigenous cultures.
Something that I grew up just always liking and gravitated to, being from Nicaragua and growing up in Miami. I found the colors and palettes of indigenous cultures very similar.
He doesn't always have the perfect wall to paint on.
This piece had this box here, whatever it is, that had a workaround. So I just decided to add this bird on top of it. So that's a way to work with what you got.
Both Valle and street artist Marcus Blake are paid by clients who want to brighten their buildings.
Literally made it a more like colorful place, you know, more than just white walls.
The Jamaican-born artist has a distinct style.
This is called tapenology. Done with masking tape, and I'm into geometrics, and it's really the patterns build themselves.
Blake is proud of his work and what used to be an empty lot. Deborah Block, VOA News, Miami.
Actress Margot Robbie battled behind the scenes to get a Suicide Squad spin-off centered around fan favorite Harley Quinn. The Australian actress and producer admits that she wished the new Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn, which was released in theaters in February, had come out a couple of years ago. But she knows that the female-centric narrative of solidarity and strength chimes with the current climate.
Yeah, I wish it came out a couple of years ago. But no, it's better late than never. And definitely I think there's more eyes on this sort of conversation. It's so much more topical now. And I think that's a good thing. I think when people kind of talk about it, it holds other people accountable. You know, if they're not really making efforts to have equal representation in front and behind the camera, then things are never going to change.
And before we go, let's take a look at the clip from the film, now available online due to the coronavirus outbreak.
But it turns out that wasn't the only dame in Gotham looking for emancipation.
You fall in love.
He's after all of us. The kid just robbed him. You betrayed him. You killed his BFF.
What?
You are so cool.
You never.
And you're dumb enough to be building a case against him. So, unless we all want to die very unpleasant deaths, we're gonna have to work together.
Sure.
And thanks for watching VOA's Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. For more entertainment news, remember to check us out at voanews.com. We are on Facebook, we are also on Instagram and on YouTube. Until next time, goodbye everyone.